This all-new bike is supposed to be Suzuki's answer to the highly popular Yamaha MT07. It's the all-new 2023 Suzuki GSX-8S with its all-new 776cc parallel twin engine that has stout bottom end and mid-range power like the MT07, but considerably better looks and also a host of electronic rider aids. But is it really better than the Yamaha MT07, which I currently own and love? Well, I'm going to break it down for you in this video, and I'm going to give you the honest truth on which bike I think is better. Let's go for a ride. Subscribe today.
If you want to get my gear like this ultra lightweight carbon fiber helmet with auto tint shield, my favorite helmet, motovlog camera, airbag vest to help keep you safe, all of my gear, I always include links in the description and comment section of my videos.
First off, I just want to say this new 2023 Suzuki GSX-8S looks awesome. I think it looks marginally better than the MT07, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. This bike costs $8,849, which is $649 more than the MT07, but it has a whole lot more features than the MT07, which may not be a good thing in my opinion, which I'll comment about later in this video. But first off, I want to break down the specs of this new GSX-8S. It has an all-new 776cc parallel twin engine that's shared with the V-Strom 800DE with a 270-degree crankshaft, and it pumps out 81 horsepower at 8,500 RPMs and 57.5 pounds-feet of torque at 6,800 RPMs, compared to 75 horsepower and 50 pounds-feet of torque for the MT07. So not only is it marginally better looking than the MT07, but it's also faster than the MT07. And this new Suzuki has a top speed of 145 miles per hour versus 133 miles per hour for the MT07. So it's 12 miles per hour faster than the MT07 and has a little bit bump in torque and horsepower. But it does weigh more. It weighs 445 pounds versus 405 pounds for the MT07. So it's roughly about 40 pounds heavier than the MT07, but it has a lot of extra features on it. Namely, up and down quick shifter. Unlike the MT07, now the new 2023 MT07 has the ability to add a quick shifter. Also, this new Suzuki has a ride-by-wire throttle, unlike the MT07, which still has a cable throttle. But I prefer the cable throttle myself for a more natural response. But with the ride-by-wire throttle, it allows for electronic rider aids, which this new Suzuki has. It has power modes A, B, and C, and traction control 1, 2, and 3. And also, this Suzuki has a 6-speed cable-actuated clutch assist with slipper functionality, unlike the MT07, which does not have a slipper clutch. But not a big deal in my opinion, but it is nice to have, and it's cool to know the Suzuki has it. And the Suzuki has a KYB inverted fork with 5.1 inches of travel, but it is non-adjustable. Similar to the MT07 standard fork that is also non-adjustable, but I can attest to the MT07 suspension being just fine at my weight at 170 pounds on the streets of Cleveland. I actually prefer a bit softer suspension, and it's not pogo-like. It's just fine for me. I don't need to upgrade the suspension. Also, the Suzuki has a preload adjustable only rear shock, unlike the MT07, which has a fully adjustable preload and rebound adjustment on the shock. As far as brakes, this new Suzuki has ABS brakes with a pair of radial mounted 4-piston Nissan calipers, 310 millimeter discs, unlike the MT07, which has 298 millimeter dual discs. But the rear disc on the Suzuki is 240 millimeters versus 245 millimeters for the MT07. Both the Suzuki and Yamaha have steel frames. However, the wheelbase on the Suzuki is a little bit longer at 57.5 inches versus 55 inches on the MT07. Both have all LED lights. The seat height is a little bit taller on the Suzuki at 31.9 inches versus 31.7 inches. Both have TFT full color displays, although I think the display is much better on the Suzuki because it has many more features, including a voltmeter and you can set the tachometer to flash at preset engine speeds, and also the display will go light and dark depending on how light and dark it is outside, which is pretty cool. As far as ergonomics, both of them have comfortable ergonomics with great foot peg placement, so you can't go wrong with either one of these. That's why I love naked bikes. They're just so comfortable to ride out here on the streets. As far as wheel size, both have 120/70 for the front wheel and 180/55 for the rear. The Suzuki comes with Dunlop Road Sport 2 versus the Michelin Road 5s on the MT07, which I think the Michelin Road 5s are better. Those tires are awesome. When I first rode my MT07 for the very first time, it was in the rain. And I'll tell you, those brand new tires did not slip one time and had great traction. Great tires. Not to say the Dunlop Road Sport 2s are bad. I just feel the Michelin Road 5s are better. As far as color options available for both bikes, I have to give the nod to Suzuki. They have better looking colors. They've got the Pearl Cosmic Blue, which looks awesome and very different from what you see from any other bikes out there. The Pearl Tech White looks great with the blue accents. The Matte Black looks awesome. Now, as far as the MT07, they offer the Cyan Storm. It's okay, kind of funky to me, but Yamaha Blue, yeah, it looks good. Matte Black, of course, that's what I have. You can't go wrong with a black bike, but just better color options for the Suzuki. Okay, now for the conclusion and which bike I think is better. If you look at the spec sheet, you have to say the Suzuki's better. I mean, for $649 more than the MT07, you're getting a whole heck of a lot more. You're getting more power right off the top. I mean, you're getting 6 horsepower more, 7.5 pounds-feet more torque, 12 miles per hour more for the top speed. That's 145 miles per hour top speed for the Suzuki versus 133 miles per hour for the MT07. You're getting an up and down quick shifter on this Suzuki. Unlike the MT07, you have to add at your extra expense. Now, the big knock for me with the Suzuki is that it has a ride-by-wire throttle. I personally like a cable throttle because it usually feels more natural. I've had ride-by-wire throttle bikes. Some are better than others, but the cable throttle is always better to me, in my opinion. But for you, you may prefer the ride-by-wire throttle because you get all the electronic rider aids, which I could care less about. My throttle hand is my rider aid, but if you want to have traction control and power modes, you're going to have a ride-by-wire throttle because I don't think you can get those features with a cable throttle. Now, this Suzuki does have a better TFT display. It looks better, in my opinion, somewhat better, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It has better color options than the MT07. But for me personally, I would choose the MT07 over this Suzuki because I like a bare bones bike. I don't need to have a slipper clutch, which the Suzuki has, by the way, and the MT07 doesn't have. I don't need it. I don't need an up and down quick shifter for street riding. So, and I love the cable throttle. And both of them have comparable power. We'll see head-to-head matchup coming up soon in the shootouts. But overall, it just depends on what you're looking for in a bike. Leave a comment below and let me know which you think is the better bike.
But anyways, guys, make sure to hit thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell symbol so you get notified when I release my new videos. But I release new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm always there the first couple of hours to talk with you guys in the comments. I appreciate all you guys. So until next time.
Check out my playlist for new riders and popular videos. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto, where I customize a van for my motorcycle so I can live in my van with my motorcycle and travel across the country anywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bug Out Moto.